In 3D modeling, adding materials and textures is a huge part of the process. If we want to add a solid color to an object, we can simply add a material and change the color all within Blender. But if we want to add an image as a texture, for example, we need to map it onto the object. There are several different ways to map a texture onto an object. We can draw our image in or outside of Blender, or bring in an outside image. Either way, we need to map it onto the object. So this video I'll show how to get it set up, and then I'll have some other videos that will show the different ways to get an image and map it onto the object. So let's set it up. I have a cube here. We're going to learn how to cut it and get it flat so that we can get an image on there and map it back onto the cube. If I go into edit mode by hitting tab, the first thing I need to do, well, first I'll come up here to shading UVs, and I need to mark some seams to cut it out. So I'll first get my edge select all in edit mode, and I'm going to do it so that the x-axis is facing me. There's lots of different ways to do it. If I right click on the right edge, I'm going to hold down shift on my keyboard and right click on the left edge to get both of them. I'm going to continue to hold down shift, get the top, right and left edge, and the back edge. And then I'm going to come down to the bottom. I'll get the right edge and the left edge. Okay, with those all selected, I'm going to mark the seams. Now they're considered seams, and when I unwrap it, it will cut it out there. So I'll hit A twice on the keyboard to select all of it, and I'm going to come up here to these little diagonal markings, click and drag. I need another window open, another viewport. I'm going to change it to UV Image Editor. Now, once I have it selected, I will unwrap it. I can click right here, unwrap, or U if my cursor is within the window here. So unwrap, and this is what it looks like unwrapped. Now I'm going to rotate it. I like mine T standing straight up. So I'm going to hit R over here and rotate left, but I'll just do a negative 90 degrees. So on my keypad I'll do negative 90, hit enter. I need to move it a little bit, so I'll hit G to grab it and move it up slightly, and just to make sure it all fits in within the window, scale it down just a tiny bit. S to scale, just a little bit. Okay, now it's been unwrapped. This is the cube flat, and so I just need to add an image to it. There's several different ways to do that, so in the next videos I will show a few different ways to get an image on there, whether we draw it or bring it in from an outside source, and then we will map it back onto the cube.